Hello to my Saggies, my Sagittarius. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there in the land. Hopefully you all are having a great day on today. That people are showing you much love and appreciation. So we're going to get into your reading. The moon is in Aquarius. And so when the moon is in Aquarius, it's a waning moon in Aquarius. That energy is perfect time for releasing outdated beliefs, detaching from emotional baggage, and embracing visionary change. So Aquarius rules innovation, freedom, and higher thinking, while the waning phase encourages letting go and reflection. And so let's get into your reading. I've already prayed over your card, Sagittarius. Hopefully, like I said, you all having a great day. So let's get into it. So let's set the tone for your reading. First, every decision I make, I consider my inner child, my inner child. So yeah, so this is year 9, 2025. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. And so ninth house, when you think about ninth house, Sagittarius, which Sagittarius rules, right? I'm speaking to, so find out for my cross watchers, what your sign is for your ninth house and your ninth house, right? So ninth house is all about higher education, philosophy, law, religion, travel, ethics and morals, personal beliefs, spiritual beliefs. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to law school or even be, but philosophy, you may know about spiritual or learn know about spiritual law or like in the physical realm law uh, about certain things. Okay, somebody's ex was on some kind of an assignment. I don't know what that means. Ex is not always ex love interest. We haven't even laid the cards out. Haven't even gotten to the tarot part of the question piece here. That card was just in the deck, and there's nothing that happens by coincidence, right? So that card being out here saying somebody's ex was on an assignment could have been an ex friend that you haven't talked to in many years. It could be ex love interest, ex whomever. Um, was on some type of an assignment. Who they were on an assignment for, who knows? But every decision that you make sure you consider your inner child. Everyone has an inner child, and you want to consider that, just like you would have your kids, right? So think about your inner child. Every adult has an inner child, and so they could have been on an assignment from who knows. But we'll find out in the cards. Let's get into it. Let's pull an angel number, and then we're gonna jump into some tarot. We're gonna jump right into tarot. I've already prayed over everyone's cards, already cleared the space, and ask Source or the Creator or Most High for complete and total clarity before laying your cards out. So first here, financial freedom. Take back your control. 413. There is a need for you to look at your finances and get them in order. Organizing, understanding, and budgeting your money are all actions that create pathways for more financial abundance in the future. So reflect on an area of your life that does not support your financial freedom. Spend 20 minutes today digging deeper into a financial predicament you've been ignoring. So 413. In other words, that number 4 is like really get structured, like really get structured while you're by yourself. Like speak life over your finances, speak life over because it's a frequency that you're on. That's why you're saying, okay, when you think time is money and you're spending time around energies that you could be, like I said, not even realize that somebody could be on some kind of an assignment for something, and you could be learning using that time to be learning how to become financially free. You could be around people who are helping you to become financially free by what they're spending their time on, if that makes any sense to someone. So if you're around people that you're not really talking about anything, or you're not really learning everything, learning things, and that ninth house about philosophy, higher education, law, travel, ethics, morals, personal beliefs, spiritual beliefs. You could be surrounded by people who know other people. They could know, let's say, if you want financial freedom, who their accountants are, or somebody who can help you structure your finances in a way that you're financially free. Somebody could be getting you in touch or contact with somebody who can help you with something, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Let's get into it. So let's get into it. Let's see what is going on here. Let's jump into tarot. So, like I said, when the moon is in Aquarius, this is where you want to really start closing out cycles. You'll start feeling it in, you'll know that source or the creator is trying to get a message through to you through your physical body. So the spirit within is trying to get a message to you through your physical body, right? Possibly through about someone that you love. Somebody may have felt like something was their way or the highway. Um, and something could be around financial freedom. Somebody may have something may have affected someone's kids or spouse or family member or whatever. So here's the Ace of Cups here. So something new was created. You're creating something new that you can protect. Yeah. Something is now behind you. Something is now behind you. So you want to speak in terms of putting something behind you, meaning that here's a Ace of Pentacles. Somebody now knows their worth and they know their value. This is Ace of Pentacles. A lot of money is coming to someone, right? Now, when I say money, let me be crystal clear. Money is not always in a physical sense. I know people are like, okay, well, are we talking about monopoly money? No, not necessarily. This is about you knowing your worth and knowing your value. Again, who you're spending time around, right? Time is money. If you're spending time around people who there is not a healthy exchange of information about how you can become financially free, who you can get in contact with, somebody could be just kind of sort of just spinning their wheels and wasting time. So you're going to feel like emotionally talking to certain people, you have hit the jackpot in terms of like the ninth house, because the people that source is putting you around are people who have higher education, philosophy, law, religion. They know about all of this: travel, ethics, morals, personal beliefs, spiritual beliefs. Emotionally, somebody's going to feel like they have hit the jackpot. Everything around creativity, music, art, um, anything around creativity. If you like to draw, to help you on get to your financial freedom. And so that's what source say. Every decision that you make sure you consider your inner child. Okay. Yeah. So somebody is stay in a posture of gratitude, stay connected to, energies where you're creating something new that you want to protect. This is what's coming someone's way, right? Because a lot of money is coming across your path. I feel like to some degree, looking at here, somebody's a pretty active, possibly a teenager. You like getting out in the sun, whoever you are. And so you being active is going to, people may feel like, okay, wow, this person has done this. They may have done that. They may have done this and that. You may know a lot of things about a lot of things. But source is going to put you in contact with energies where you're communicating with energies who may be at an expert level. They may have a higher level. They may have connections and they're not judging you. They're not, so you can rise above any kind of judgment or thinking somebody is judging you, especially when you're dealing with people who are obsessed. This is the Tower card here. Tower card, usually when you see the Tower card, people are like, oh my God, I'm having a Tower moment. Again, I'm speaking to your ninth house. So it doesn't matter what your sign is, whether it's from Aries all the way down to Pisces. I'm speaking to your ninth house, and Sagittarius rules ninth house. Okay, so we make sure we're all clear. You're creating something now that you can protect. You're creating something now that you can protect. And this is so yeah, what outdated beliefs or mental pattern are you ready to release? And that's, being around people who are judging you, who are obsessed with judging you. So it's sort of saying you're rising above assuming people are judging you or whatever, because when you look back at the life that you created for yourself and you're grateful that some things are now behind you, somebody's going to feel like they have hit the jackpot. Because again, even if your sun sign, sun, moon, whatever, wherever Sagittarius falls in your birth chart, Sagittarius isn't, I'm talking about high vibration Sagittarius, and you all know that's what I discuss on my channel, is if you're low vibrational, you know that there's an option of vibrating higher. There's no judgment at all here on this channel whatsoever. The point to you is that there are some people who have come across your path who have harshly judged you based on what you created, like the life that you created for yourself. They may say, uh, you, let's say somebody says, because what I'm looking at here in your cards is there's one energy in particular who, because there's two sides to this. There's one energy in particular that talked about you behind your back, like really, really caused other people to judge you, judge your decisions that you made. And for that energy, for them, something was their way or the highway. In other words, somebody could have been married to or dated or friends with or whatever, a type of a spirit who felt like they are going to stay connected to you regardless. What's hidden in the Tower card is the first and eighth house, right? This is the Judgment card right here. The Judgment card right here, which is Pluto, is the outermost planet, is currently retrograde. And so when planets are retrograde, because planets don't move backwards and they don't move at a slower pace, Source is trying to help somebody to understand you really want to slow down and recognize how energies have judged you in the past. On one hand, they're judging you, but also they want to stay connected to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. It's almost like a love-hate relationship. I don't really like you or I hate you, but I want to stay somehow connected to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? So it could be. So there was two energies. Looks like that could have harshly judged you or wanted some kind of judgment to be brought down on you and someone that you love, right? Based on something that you created. Maybe you created a business and someone was jealous of your business, whatever, who knows what it is. But I'm feeling like your wishes are being fulfilled. Somebody's emotionally going to feel like they hit the jackpot. Source is making sure that a lot of money is going to come to you. A lot of money is coming across your path, right? Because something has been overwhelming. Something has been overwhelming um, for someone. Something has been overwhelming uh, for someone. And yeah, you and someone don't look like what you've been through. You and someone do not look like what you've been through. So something was ended. Something has ended for someone. It's almost like someone had a dream. You could have had a dream that you created. Um, let's say, for instance, you could have felt like you hit the jackpot, like in terms of something that you created. Maybe you created businesses, maybe you created a life for yourself or even your kids, right? Maybe you created something that you just felt was for you, you hit the jackpot, but at the same time, for your financial freedom, right? For your financial freedom. But energies harshly judging you and trying to bring judgment down on you and trying to harm you to a point of overwhelm. Source is saying you don't look like what you've been through. And the energies that Source are now putting you around are going to be aware of that because some energies are going to look you up online. Looking at your cards here, they're going to look you up online. Water connects us with, water is reflective, right? So people are going to look you up. They want to find out about you, right? And you knowing your worth and knowing your value, certain energies are going to be like, wait a minute, these energies have been shady towards your ninth house, right? These energies have been shady towards your ninth house, and these energies are going to bring judgment down on some energy so that you can put a manhole cover over the past. They're going to go back to something. So, in other words, yeah, here's the sixth house, the sixth house right here. Something is going to go back because some people thought something was all fun and games, but you're going to have some money coming back to you. I don't know who you are, but you're going to have some money coming back to you. Some energies created something to hurt you and someone else, Sagittarius. But, and I'm only saying Sagittarius, not just if your sun, I got to reiterate this. Your sun, moon, or rising does not have to be Sagittarius. When I say Sagittarius, Sagittarius rules ninth house. So I could do this reading and say, okay, I'm talking to your ninth house. I'm speaking to your ninth house, right? So find out for your birth chart, find out what your sign is in your ninth house. Yeah. But somebody did something to someone to bring judgment down on someone, um, to make you and someone else feel worthless, right? Make you and someone else feel absolutely worthless, right? Um, for money, and they got paid to do it. Some people were paid to do something to make you all feel worthless, right? To stop your 11th house. So 11th house to bring judgment down. So on your future, in other words, so people want to make sure people who get to know you in the future, we're going to judge you, right? So the star card is 11th house. 11th house is about your friendships, your community, your goals, your hopes, your wishes, your awareness, humanitarianism, technology, the future, all those things. Some energies are going to bring something back to you. So let's see. That created a nightmare. That created a nightmare. Yeah, and depression, right? For someone, right? Cause someone to be depressed. But it was a wish fulfillment. Somebody felt like they hit the jackpot somehow with you and someone else. It could be you and a grandchild or you and an adult child, whoever. But somebody felt like, when I say grandchild, I'm talking about adults here. I'm not talking about children. This is where we say, when every decision you make, consider your inner child. Because somebody was definitely dealing with an energy who felt like if something is their way or the highway, but something has been really, really overwhelming because somebody wants financial freedom. It's like somebody sees you as competition, like a kid, like they throwing up a baton, like a kid, like seeing you as competition. But it's just been a nightmare for you, and it's been a nightmare for someone else. So somebody else, some other sources, like sources, send you some guardian angels. Yeah, somebody's had to walk to work. Is the Knight of Pentacles here? Yeah, yeah. Somebody's being humiliated. This is a humiliation ceremony for someone. What's coming to mind is like somebody literally has to walk to work for their 10th house, for their career, for their job, their achievement, public image, social status, fame. Like somebody really has to. Somebody's trying to bring out the dark side of you and bring out the dark side of someone else. Somebody's jealous that you're thriving. Somebody's jealous that you are thriving and that you're not talking to them. So they're taking it out on someone else. Here's a 9 of Wands, because people know you're not coming back. Whoever you are, people know that you're not coming back, right? But you being an open book, something is about to come out. Something is about to come out. It's giving people a lot of ideas like, okay. Like, is this person for real? Like, all of this, like, it almost like somebody has such a colorful past, looking at your cards here, that you've created such a life for yourself. People want to know who you are. Like, okay, this person is like, what is going on? And so, yeah, somebody was blindsided. Somebody was blindsided, but you have a lot of ancestors around you. Yeah, here's the 6 of Swords here. Yeah, somebody was blindsided. By hearing some things about you behind your back, and decided to say something to you very disrespectful. Here's the High Priestess. Somebody said something about your spiritual gifts, right? Here's the thing about High Priestess gifts. High Priestess gifts are intuition. Men and women have intuition. When you have a feeling about something, you don't really know, okay, I can't really put my finger on something. I got a feeling about something. Not really sure what this feeling is, but now let me go see. Let me go. I don't like just feelings. I need the physical evidence of something, right? I got a feeling, right? I think or I know something, but I don't have the physical something to back something up, right? I have a feeling about something. I believe something or I don't believe something, right? So let me go look up something. Yeah. So while you are resting or asleep, here's 8 right here. First of all, let me back up for somebody, right? You definitely want to say your prayers before you go to sleep, right? I can't, and this is not somebody teaching somebody religion, but before you go to sleep, you want to make sure that what you're speaking over yourself and for other people, that you're speaking protection. You want to, when talking about water and being speaking to creativity, you want to create something that's going to cover the first time we experienced water. And I had a book on my table. About just the power of water. I can't remember if that's the title of it, but the uh, first time we all experience water is in a womb, right? And we were talking about considering your inner child, right? Somebody may not have felt safe, right? So source is saying being connected to two energies. They may have felt very much by themselves, right? This number one right here, somebody that you love. Four connects us to the Emperor number. The dark side of Emperor energy is their way or the highway. And I'm doing this because I love you. So somebody may have had to work, literally walk to work because somebody feels like they love them, but really something is aimed at you to make you feel worthless, right? Um, But something is coming to an end. Something is coming to an end very soon. So if it's you that's had to walk to work because somebody's trying to make you feel like, okay, they trying to make you toughen up or something, whatever energies are trying to do, something is coming to an end real soon. Right? So you're gonna be getting a message really, really soon. Somebody want to send you a message because some energies feel like you are being shady towards them for not coming back. I don't know who this is, for not coming back. And it's either something that you're saying. Let me slow down for a second for Silly. If you are a reader, and I got to say this, if you are a reader, and I'm going to reiterate this in my readings, if you are a reader, keep your personal life out of your readings if you can help it, because some of you all really do have very bitter ex-friends, ex-love interests, ex-whomever. That's why I said somebody's ex was on some kind of an assignment. Some of your family members you don't talk to anymore, and they could be making your kids or somebody pay for something which really is trying to get through to you, which is wrong in every sense of the word. Horrible that somebody would do that. But source is saying to you, you'd be surprised at what excuse people will use to try to bring their own judgment down on you, right? Keep your personal life your personal life. You don't even, like, even with readings, I always tell people, when I'm reading cards, take what resonates with you. Just take what resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate, then it's not yours. It's not yours. Somebody is obsessed. Two energies are obsessed with you. They want to bring judgment down on you so bad that everything that you say, they're looking for some kind of excuse to do something to someone else that you love. So if you have kids or whatever, this could be somebody's ex with their new person, bringing some judgment down on your kids just to get to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Um, but for somebody, something has just been a complete nightmare, a complete and total nightmare. And for your high priestess gifts, you could be getting downloads and dreams as to what kind of nightmare someone is actually going through, if you have kids or parents or whoever. But everybody has an inner child. So if it's your life, because something was, so you have a window of opportunity opening up wide for you. Looking at here, talking about traveling, something is going from local to international. And these energies are just looking for something to go through, that spirit to go through that door. 9 and 2 is 11. 11 is a master number. It symbolizes light in numerology, Light. And it also symbolizes getting off the fence and taking some kind of action. There's some energies who are creating something. That's what water is for. They're creating something that's not there. Somebody's creating some kind of a competition that's not there, right? So no matter how much, whether you watching my readings or someone else's readings, or you're a reader yourself, and you could be going through something, energies are looking for any excuse to try to make you feel worth. Like, see this person right here is sitting outside of a door with their head between their knees, probably sick to their stomach, and you see the key right here, make somebody feel lower and lower and lower. I'm telling you all, if you are a reader in any shape and you're on social media, keep your physical and emotional business out of social media, because some energies could be taking some things out on your kids, your parents, your whomever, just looking for any excuse, right? Trying to bring out some kind of a darkness in you. There we go, Queen of Wands here. Somebody could be dealing with somebody's fifth house. Yeah, somebody's competing with you in terms of romance, creativity, children. So in other words, this could be someone's ex-love interest, where somebody is competing with you, like they're better at romance than you are, they're better at creativity than you are, they're better at raising their kids than you are, they're better at projects than you are, better at self-expression or hobbies than you are. And what makes you feel good? They're competing against anything. So somebody is definitely dealing with some energies who, like I said before, trying to drag you into something, drag you in, possibly if you have kids, into something. Ridiculous. Here we have the Emperor card. Yeah. So keep your personal life. I don't know who I'm talking to here. Keep your personal life off of social media altogether, because they're just looking for anything to create just nonsense. So I want you all to keep yourself safe, please. In what ways are you emotionally detached, and is it serving or hurting you? Yeah, your emotional detachment to something, you're not going back to something, and that right there, because energies know for certain that you're not going back to something. It could be a job or friendship, ex, whoever. When I say ex, it's not just ex love interest, so we're crystal clear. Sometimes it's just a friendship that you're not going back to. And some energies, who knows what's going on. Somebody could be afraid to say something, but this is what prayer is for. Somebody is a prayer warrior. Somebody's a prayer warrior. It could be an ex-love interest that somebody's afraid of speaking up and telling you something, because something was just created to keep some kind of you separate from somebody. So something was definitely created. See these two wands here that's separated, one going to the back and one going to the front. Yeah, some energies know that you're expanding, and some energies feel like you're not coming back. They're just being shady. Pray about it. Pray about it. What collective role is Sagittarius being called to shift or to let go of? Yeah, what collective role is, yeah, like I said, financial freedom. So some energies definitely did something behind your back, playing games, doing all this other stuff to affect your 11th house, because they look at your first house, meaning your personality, your temperament, your appearance, your self-image, their first impression of you, self-awareness, your outlook on life, and say, oh, we'll just create something. We'll just make up any old thing. Yeah. Somebody went to court, whether it's spiritual court or 3D court, we'll just create anything. They're not gonna ever find out. They're never gonna find out. They're never going to know exactly what was created. Well, that part isn't true, because you found out something. Somebody brought some information back to you. And for those of you all who, like I said, every decision that you make, you're considering your inner child. Yeah, somebody wants playing games with you. So whoever I'm talking to, you found out something. You found out something. So the tower is falling, because a lot of people are talking. A lot of people are talking. Mm-hmm. Queen of Wands here. Yep. A lot of people are talking. Yeah, somebody created something that was not true, but a lot of people are talking to try to bring a darkness out of you. Hmm. And this is the reason why, because of your financial independence. So whoever this ex is, whether it's ex love interest, ex friend, family members you don't talk to, or whoever the exes are, somebody hates the fact that you're financially independent of them. And so again, you want to consider your inner child, because somebody is taking something out on someone that you love. So if you don't have kids, it could be they could take it out on your parents or grandkids or whatever the case may be. But source is saying to you, justice is in your favor. And this is spiritual and 3D and 5D. Justice is in your favor, so that you can finally rest, so that somebody can finally move on and finally rest. Somebody was really an open book about you, but you're just as much of an open book. Like, people pray for people, like we're talking about ninth house. People who are open, they're not so guarded with everything. Like, everything is such a secret, right? Like, everything is like it's almost like somebody has this naive, childlike spirit. Even though you're incredibly smart, whoever you are, you have this childlike spirit. But people pray to be around people like that. But people also will prey on energies like that as well. So source may look at you and go, okay, this energy was preyed upon, and don't even really know that they were being preyed upon. One of the readings that I did for ninth house, what I remember saying that somebody's in parallel universes with someone else. Like, someone else has already gone through what you're either about to go through, what you're currently going through or about to go through, like something was created behind your back without you even knowing, um, without you even knowing something, um, to keep you and someone apart from each other, to keep you and someone apart from each other. So it's saying somebody was just determined to bring out a darkness in you. So can I reiterate for those of you all who are on, social media, to protect yourself, to really, really protect yourself. Just like, let me say, because today we got social media. Well, just like you would not post pictures of like your family and stuff online, like you wouldn't post pictures of your kids or your spouse or whatever, especially if you've been in situations where people are sending uh, spell work. When I say that, I mean, like, you're being attacked by people saying, oh, they're dating this, you're being attacked by their exes or their family or their friends, or, people being mean spirited. That's what I mean by spell work, because spellings of words are very powerful. And then also the vibration of sound, all of these other things. Some energies, like I said before, they feel like they're in a very powerful position and abusing their power. Yeah, so here we have the Seven of Swords here. And so Source is saying to you, even though Seven of Swords is like an assassination of character, there's some energies. Here we have this weapon here, right? This weapon could be a needle. It could be a actual weapon. It could be a pen, right? So some people feel like their pen is mightier than the sword, and they have been vibrating on a lower frequency because, you know, in public, and remember, this is genderless. This could be a man or woman. It could be skin color. Doesn't have to be that. But you know who is behind something. You know who is behind something. Yeah, yeah. It's like as soon as um, it's like these energies like come out at night. Whoever these energies are. Yeah. So you've made some connections. You've made some kind of connections here. Looking at your cards here, you made some kind of connections here. You made some kind of connections here. So don't know who you are, but some things have been going on behind your back to just further humiliate you and someone else. And again, keeping your vibrations high, it's time for you to be financially free of some things. And here we have, once something you're going to find out, you're going to be like, heck no. But somebody met their match. Somebody met their match. Your ex is bitter. Your bitter ex's lover wants you. Like, mm-mm. So time to ground yourself. Time to ground yourself. It's time to do a root chakra cleanse. It's time to pull something up at the root, meaning, okay, start all over. Here we have, your gifts have increased. Someone is very powerful with their spiritual gifts, and it could be high priestess gifts, and I'm talking about in terms of your intuition. So with all of this water here, water speaks to sacral chakra energy. Somebody really misses you. Um, it's time to schedule a vacation, and this is you scheduling a vacation in faith, because somebody has really been through a nightmare. Somebody has really been through a nightmare. Somebody's ex wants to return. I don't know who the ex is. Again, an ex could be an ex friend, ex love. And when I say ex on my channel, it's not always ex love interest. Okay, so we're crystal clear. Um, it can literally be a friend you have not talked to in years, that who is holding on to something you're not even aware of. So, but something is coming out. Your enemy's plan backfired. So it's time to open your vault door. So I feel like somebody is already thinking, source in advance, that something is behind you. You're scheduling a vacation. Um, yeah, scheduling a vacation and then moving from there, moving on forward from there. Angel Gabriel, the messenger of God, is with you, right? You're stepping through a portal, right? And then you're making a list of pros and cons. Yeah, making a list of pros and cons. All right, let me see what else we got going on here. Let's see what else we have going on here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but somebody has an ex or whoever just loves to play games. And so let's say let's see what else we got going on here. Who or what do you need to lovingly detach from for your soul's growth? Yeah, you're lovingly detaching from some energies just for your soul to grow. Source is going to tell you who did something behind your back in the spiritual or your 3D or 5D court, right? Behind your back. Source is going to let you know everything that went on behind your back without you even knowing. And again, you're in a very vulnerable space right now. So somebody could be in a space where they don't know who they can trust and who they can't trust, but you really can trust Source. So if you pray ahead of time, if you're a person who reads cards, we're still in that full moon energy. Kind of, it's technically we're in a gibbous moon phase, a waning gibbous moon phase. But we had the full moon on the 11th. So if you're watching this on the 15th, it's still full enough for it's still illuminated enough to know that, let's say, if you're having problems with your back or your joints or your knees or skin or hair, okay, maybe you need to do something to pour into you, right? But again, you're in a very vulnerable space. And then when the moon moves into Aquarius, which is in right now, your calf, ankles, shin, and Achilles, if they're not hurting, so it's just saying, or they're not giving you any kind of pain in any way, shape, form, or fashion, that could be an indicator that somebody is pouring into themselves properly. Could be, okay? Not saying that it actually is, but it could be that you're pouring into yourselves properly, right? The proper way, right? By the time we move through the 17th and the 18th, and this waning gibbous moon in Pisces, the last quarter moon will be on Wednesday, June 18th. That's where your third eye, like I said, is being opened, like your feet, your bones, your pineal gland. Source is saying, okay, now it's time to kind of move towards something else, right? Because some energies are trying to pull you and someone else into something, like your back is against the wall. Here's the Seven of Cups, but they didn't get away with whatever they thought they got away with. This is the Seven of Cups here. Yeah, they didn't get away with what they thought they got away with. You're just keeping your vibrations very, very high. But whatever these energies thought they got away with, it's Tower moment time. Judgment is coming down on some energy for what they did. Yeah, to try to have you restricted in your mind. So um, something could have, like I said before, here we have the Eight of Swords here. Something could have this energies were really trying to put somebody in such a vulnerable state as far as their future is concerned that you don't know who to trust. Like literally, like somebody is walking around like they are completely paranoid to justify someone challenging your mental health. Like, okay, is this person, they don't come out the house at night, they're scared, they're terrified, they this and that. So it's just saying, but some energies are going to come up behind that and be like, no, that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. Something about you is not mentally off. People are going to be like, it's legitimate. That, let's say, what's the card here, right? Let's say you did go out at night. Let's say you went to a friend's baby shower or something like that. Something about you is not being paranoid. You're being aware because some things have happened to you in the past, right? Here we have the Hangman. So somebody is trying to play some kind of claim that someone has not been sacrificed in some way, shape, form, or fashion, that somebody is just like mentally off, or whatever the case may be. But no, like I said, you have been an open book. You have definitely been an open book. Um, and some energies were definitely trying to bring out a dark side of you, like you're just this, paranoid, this whoever you are. Somebody restricted in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So it's like, yeah, because the seed was planted. Seed was planted, could have been planted while somebody was on vacation. I don't know if you travel, but somebody's getting back to financial freedom. Yeah, so yeah, somebody who is real cold hearted towards you is, headed towards your way, just so you know, right? But they got this whole energy behind them, meaning that they have been contaminated by an entire organization behind them, right? One person in particular they were contaminated by, which also is contaminated by an entire organization. And this was done while somebody could have been on vacation. So I don't know if you on traveling or whatever. Y'all love to. So a lot of Sagittarius love to travel, or wherever Sagittarius is in your birth chart, somebody loves to travel. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that was created behind your back without you even knowing. But all of that is being uncovered. All of that is being uncovered. Some of you all, it has already been uncovered, but somebody definitely, like I said, it's just very bitter towards you because somebody's ex wants to return, and that was their way of returning by saying, hey, you got to take the whole package deal. So forge a new path. When you make new choices, you create new results. Let go of old patterns and embrace the power of possibility. You are fully supported. You are fully, fully, fully supported. Soul awakening. So you are quite irresistible when your mind and heart pulse in the same rhythm. Why spend your days fighting yourself? You have better things to do. Yeah. So I cannot reiterate, if you're on social media, keep your spiritual and physical information off of social media, especially if you're working. If you're working, keep all of that stuff, like just like you would on a regular job, like separate it, separate it. Like be very clear, separate, that energy. Starlight. Don't slow down manifestation through hesitation and worry. Keep the faith and create light in the dark. The path of the stars is made by the same energy. Yeah, remember who you are. You carry stardust in your bones, your ancestors' wisdom in your blood, and the whole universe in your soul. Know yourself, and nothing will bring you down. Yeah, so somebody's confidence level is, and if I can pass on that information to anybody, like don't put your personal life in your readings. Somebody has gone through enough. Whatever your gifts are, whatever your gifts are, um, there was some energies. How am I trying to say this? Wherever these energies are, we're trying to create something that really wasn't there. Let's say, for instance, you legitimately had a situation in your life that caused you to be depressed or feel down or sad about something, like a death, like the death of a job, the death of let's say your salary, maybe your salary like took a major hit for whatever reason. And that's legit, to be sad about, those kind of things, especially if you have bills to pay or whatever the case may be. Some people use that as an opportunity um, to create something that's going to make it worse instead of better, right? And so it looks like maybe you and someone else are kind of like an open book, and some people just use that as an opportunity to just, what book comes to mind when I think about this is the book The Money Tree. There's a section in the book where this politician basically challenges something publicly, right? And someone created an opportunity and actually ruined the career of the energy, right? You would have to read the book The Money Tree to see what I'm talking about. But it kind of like made national news. It's actually a true story. But this politician had basically said, oh, well, I'm not, in a situation, I'm not in I'm trying to remember because I read so many books, but I'm not in something about him not cheating or something. And so he was actually set up. He was actually set up. So here we have authenticity attracts. Being authentic attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. When you stay true, you naturally filter out those who don't align with your path, right? There's a lot of different ways that people can set people up, right? And so sources saying when your water is in places where, like, remember, water is shaped and guided in water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it. So one way people can be like, if you're a person who is in a very vulnerable position, and somebody from somewhere else wants to bring judgment down on somebody, what are they going to do? They already want to stay connected to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They want to get familiar with where you are. And if they talking to, if you have kids or whatever, guess what? Manipulation. Well, where exactly did they move? Where did they go? Okay, do we got anybody that know anybody around there, or whoever can create a scenario, create something for a person to set somebody up? Like I said, enemies playing backfire. Enemies playing backfire. We want to say who's connected to whom. Here's the spirit of love. So if you're new in a particular area, because that's why you catch from water here, if you're new in a particular area and you don't really know anybody, you're in a very vulnerable space, these energies were trying to create something to put you and somebody in survival mode, and then do something behind your back in the courts to sacrifice. I mean, just, yeah. And this is somebody's ex. This is someone's ex. Somebody can't figure out for the life of them why they are an ex. And again, it does not have to be ex love interest. It could be an ex friend. They cannot figure out for the life of them why you don't. If let's say it's a platonic friend, they can't figure out for the life of them why you would never be friends with them again, because they do this kind of stuff. They know people are in a vulnerable position, so they create something for you and possibly your kids or whatever the case may be, to put y'all in even more, like in a survival mode situation. So let's say it's not even a romantic situation. It could be a friend, somebody you thought was a friend of yours. They paired up with an organization. They got somebody, they feel like they got somebody behind them, and they got even a larger machine behind them. Just cold hearted, cold blooded. So it's like, if they were an ex friend, they're gonna stay an ex friend for life. There it is. There you go. Ex family member, ex whomever. Somebody knowing, see, remember the first time we experience water is in a womb, right? So again, that's where you feel safe and you feel protected. That's where your inner child feels safe and feel protected. Someone intentionally created something so that you would not want to feel safe coming out at night. This was created so that you would not feel safe coming outside at night. And so sources like, you know what? Fruits of your labor, all that stuff is gonna come back to you in a way that I'm telling you, somebody got big money coming across their path, gigantic money coming across their path, because of all the lies that were created to make you feel like you're the one that's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If y'all remember that commercial, cereal commercial. But yeah, but that's what I have for you. I don't know who this is for, but this could be some. The more and more I think about this could be somebody's friend. Somebody could have some jealous friends. Y'all seeing a lot of that stuff on like Instagram and stuff like that, where these young adults are going on vacation with these people who they think are their friends, and they really not their friends. They have to find out the hard way. These energies, no, they see financial freedom. They're gonna create something so that you're not financially free. So this is happening for me, not to me. Something is happening for you, because source is saying when your water is in new spaces, the scale's gonna have to be removed from your eyes real quick, because people will try to create something. If they feel like you're not coming back, just to be shady, they're gonna create something. So, but this is what I'm saying for you all. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this is good news for someone. But like I said, your gifts are on point. This is High Priestess gifts. Your gifts are on point, and judgment is coming down on some energies who created something, behind your back, just to sacrifice you and someone else. After all the sacrifices that you and someone else have already made. So not cool at all. So like I said, if these are your friends, they're not friends. What's coming to me right now is a young lady who, went on a trip with her so-called friends. It's quite a few people that go on trips with their friends, and they think their friends are their friends, but their friends are doing something to somehow stay connected to them. And unfortunately, sometimes in the stories, the people don't make it. Looking at this, right? This is a judgment card. People are thinking that they judging somebody. They're like, oh, they just want to be a part of a group, or they want to be a part of such and such. And people almost feel like they wish they had never walked through a door. They wish they had never walked through a particular door, being around certain people that's like that, right? So, but Looking at your cards here, some energies are sending that spell work back. They're sending that spell work back. And just because of your authenticity. So that is what I have for you. I'm saying financial freedom for you, but yeah. Somebody's ex they will work every connection on the planet to end you, but won't work one connection to help you. That is sad. If you got friends like that, who needs enemies? That is what I have for you right there. But source is putting you around a new different group of people, whole new different group of people. So congratulations to you all, whoever you are. Again, ninth house. Yeah, yeah. Justice is in your favor, whoever you are. Ninth house. That's what I have for you. All right. Bye.